poems. There are small poems that I write, not very big ones. In fact, I also give them a title, like I call them, I was going to say omelette, poemlets. So I think they are the children who can be considered as the mother of man, kind of thing, like that. So anyway, those are contradictions we have to reconcile. Let me read, talking of Kashmir, there's so much of Kashmir today in the year. So let me just read a poem which is called On the Dal at Srinagar. Drifting on the surface of the lake, my thoughts became transparent. For the first time, I saw my visage, a cubist's work of art, yellow, red, green, blue, and even bits of white, joined together with affection, love, attachments, likes and dislikes. The boatman's oar splashed, diffusing the colors, taking the confusion to the shores in ripples and bubbles, making my thoughts once again opaque and dense. In the cobwebs, I see more, but hold something less in my hands. This is a series that I did for the homeless people. Dreams are to be dreamt in sleep, to die when the eyes are open. Deny them, dismiss them, for the green pastures are nowhere. Dreams sink the paper boats when belief sits in them. Each day, I must work, I must earn, I must eat, just so that I go home. But then that too is a dream, I confess. Last one. This way, that way, it has to surface on the paper. From the wilderness of the forest and its stinging nettles, knotted bushes and twigs, it has to emerge on this vacancy. From the black holes of the universe, seen, unseen, through meteor storms and somersaulting planets, that hand has to appear with finger pointing this way, that way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, time to introduce our next poet, Madam Achla Bansal.
I'm not a poet. No. He will speak on her novel. Doesn't matter. He doesn't know about it. She will read on her novel.
That's perfect.
Do with poems first, then I will. No?
What's the problem?
But you can read from your novel also. Yes. It is about literature, no? So.
We would love to hear you, ma'am. Please kindly come. Madam Achla Bansal, well, let me talk about her. Madam Achla Bansal, she is acclaimed fiction writer in English, widely recognized for her sharp storytelling and distinct narrative style. Her short story, Checkmate, won the prestigious A Book for Bogus Award in 2007, followed by the UK publication of her collection, Checkmate by Scrive Press. In 2018, Barhal Dhanyavad, a Hindi translation of her stories, was published by Raj Kamal Prakashan. Her writings have been translated in Malayalam, Telugu, Hindi, Punjabi, and Urdu. Her latest novel, The Rain in Bulandshahr, has been received with critical acclaim. Put your hands together, everyone, for Madam Achla Bansal.
A non-poet.
A well-known poet among us.
I'm a fiction writer, and not a poet, unfortunately. Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be a part of this unique literary event, Whispers of the Soul, an evening of prose, poetry, and lyrics. I extend my warm wishes to Lustrous Communication and the Poetry Society for inviting me to this luminous evening where words weave magic. Words are a powerful medium and weapon of expression. They can show the ugly, the good, and the bad. All can be conveyed through them. Here we are talking of the written word. It does not matter what it is you write, as long as you can convey your thoughts through words to the people. As long as you can convey your thoughts through words which the readers can relate to. I write fiction. I am a storyteller. I write stories. Say it any which way you like. You cannot escape the inevitable query. What is it about? Now, how does one describe a book containing stories of varied hues in a nutshell? After mulling it over, I came up with a plausible answer. Why? It's about people, it's about us, our lives, the destinies we create for ourselves by our choices. I'm left wondering when some people I don't even know well not enough to write about them, tell me I had written their story. Had I now? Had I truly written their story, what happened in their life day by day, in a decade or more of living? Who knows? Life is a mystery. It unfolds at its own pace, unknown. True, a writer's imagination plays a pivotal role in the creation of any fiction, but it is not imagination alone at play. Every tale I tell has a grain of truth embedded in it. It is for the reader to unearth it or leave it buried. Chance is perhaps the pseudonym of God when he did not want to sign, wrote Anatoly, France. Choice is ours. The choice we make can make or mar our destiny. Sorry. I'll read a little from here. Here I would like to read a passage from my story, Checkmate, a novel within a story, as was sought by the Bouquet's Book Award. Maggie could not stop marveling at the strangeness of it all. The spilt nail polish changed the course of her colorless life. It was beyond the wildest flight of fantasy. If it had not been for her acuity, she reflected over and over again. Her first brush with Lady Luck would have passed her by, untrammeled. The Sethani looked at her husband of 1 years of bold wedlock with a renewed admiration, an emotion she had discarded along with her virginity on the wedding night itself. No fantasy, an exact replica, made in USA. She purred with satisfaction as she hastened to give her nails the second coat to her long fingernails. A week had passed since the providential interjection in Maggie's mundane existence, but the Sethani still simpered about her husband's hidden love for her. 20 years and he treats me like a bride. Why else would he go to such lengths to get me an identical nail polish? Just imagine, she laughed, turning crimson. Why indeed, Maggie pondered, her erstwhile quiescent mind set ablaze with the possibilities the case in hand offered. She began to spy on her master's Is my time up?
I suppose so.
Is
Depends
it?
how many people they called.
So I'll quickly.
It says 20 poets.
No, 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 four are not coming.
You should never invite more than 4 poets.
Okay.
Next time.
Nobody gets enough time.
Lastly, I would like to briefly touch upon my novel Rain in Bulandshahr. Just a glimpse, enough to draw you into its web of real versus mythical. It was a chance meeting in the bylanes of a Meerut bazaar which reunited the two childhood friends, Karthik and Rahul. Sometimes our destiny is shaped by the choices we make. Karthik had the choice then to let Rahul remain a ghost from his past, but he chose to take him to Delhi to meet his wife Deepika, and life was never the same again. I think that's it. If there is no time left.
Yeah, that's it, I think.
And then he thinks, if only he could free Karthik from the clutches of the conniving women surrounding him. Double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. He shuddered. He will have to get away. That's
Okay, thank you.
short and fast.
Books
Time
from
is
the
back
other.
with-
Who's next? Shababata.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, someone said the word impossible itself says, I am possible. With this note, moving ahead, time to introduce our next poet, Dr. Amarendra Khatua. Well, talking about Dr. Amarendra, an outstanding diplomat and eminent poet, Dr. Amarendra Khatua has served as India's ambassador to several countries, including Argentina and Ivory Coast, and as the Director General of Indian Council for Cultural Relations. He writes prolifically in English, Urdu, Hindi, and Spanish, and with more than 40 books to his credit. Dr. Khatua's creative works have been translated into the major Indian and foreign languages. Hands together, everyone, for one and only Dr. Amarendra Khatua.
Thank you. Small poems. My new book is on the Bhakti poems. Lots of Sufi thinkers and poets are all over the world. I've borrowed lines and philosophy from them and written this book. It will come out soon. I'll read two small ones. First one is Going Back. The act of going back sprouts its own thatched memories, terraced absences. Each return is like a valley with pointless, poignant seasons, yet evokes blackened visions of relations lost, imagination scarred, and capsules of pleasant shadows hovering around chirping dreams. We all want so dearly to tiptoe back to the addresses shared, times toasted. But remember, each going back will ask for the lost ledger book of what you did not have inside your briefly owned space. And now, how dreams thirst in so much anticipation with every return, with its own depreciated time in miniature memories, littered with unusual hunger, sans definitions. And the second poem is a bit difficult. This is regarding remembering Nirvaya.
Remembering,
Sir?
remembering what?
Nirvaya.
Nirvaya.
A whole population spoke. The important mix of khadi and pastry spoke of shame, of blood for blood, overnight liberation. Spoke for my ruptured intestine, on the animal numbers of my vaginal monologues, of my broken ribs, and a machine sound ripping out my womanhood into a polluted traffic noise. And I waited for a simple design of sweet breath, a space for my life, and for the growing stem of innocence still flowering as my love in a publicized hospital bed. This is my Mahabharata. I will wash my unkempt hair in your blood. I must purify my sanity before becoming your mother, your wife, your sister, your daughter, and me, myself. And I must curse all of you, the voicing bystanders, the historyless heirs of hopeless map, for drawing your own futile futures without including me and without my confirmation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I would like to take an honor to call over the stage Dr. Amit Kaur Puri.
Not here.
Okay, moving ahead, take an honor to call over the stage Dr. Balesh Jindal. Dr. Balesh Jindal, talking about her, she is a distinguished physician, poet and an artist with an extraordinary ability to blend compassion with creativity. Graduate from Lady Hardinge Medical College, she left her successful international career to serve semi-rural communities, transforming local healthcare access. Her book, The Reluctant Doctor, a collection of true stories, became an international success, winning multiple awards, including the Rabindranath Tagore Award for Literature 2023, NYC Big Book Award, and the Mighty Pen Award. Put your hands together, everyone, for Dr. Balesh Jindal.
I'll just take a minute or two to introduce myself, because this is the platform I've craved for 42 years. I am a reluctant doctor, and I was thrust in a village practice by my father. He said, I want you to help poor people, while I was planning to go to London with my husband. And I was very reluctant. I resented treating villagers, to be honest. I resented, it was a big come down from me from life. And it was many, many decades later that I realized that I was getting more from them than I was giving them. And this is where I found myself. And so now I'll come back to my poetry. Okay, so what Mr. Amarendra Khatua just read about Nirbhaya. Nirbhaya happened, I think, in 2012. I saw Nirbhaya in 1984, 1985. So I would say there is no change in India. People say India is shining, but in 42 years, I haven't seen a change. And I don't expect it to happen in the next 40 years again. That's the sad part of our country. So this is a real poem about a girl who came to me, a woman. She was beaten up very badly, and I saw thousands of them in my practice. So this is one. When her eyes speak, her jaw hanging loose, the face a reddish blue hue, She sucked in her sobs and her sullied and sordid tears, for who had the time for their womanly things? They, her family, left her with me to treat. Without much money, they said. What happened, I asked her. She ran her hand on her disheveled hair and smiled weakly. Her eyes scanned my face silently. I knew the wrath of her husband had sought revenge for his insecurities. To beat up the wife is empowering. The more the better. Break her jaw, break her legs. Burn her, kill the ugly witch. She spoke not a word, but her eyes said it all.
That's a good point.
And this is another one, the second one I'll read, is called I Need Freedom. This is about how girls are treated the moment they are born. They're treated differently from their brothers. And as I just read yesterday, they said a woman is not born, she becomes one. So this is about that. They dressed me in pink when I asked for the khakis of my brother. Dainty satin board, distressful shoes, chagrin me crimson. Large mortifying bows in my mess of a head humiliate me. Soft-spoken words when I wanted to scream. Quiet amputated smiles as I guffawed inside. A graceful walk with short steps as I craved to jaunt a military walk. Rolling in the mud, stained and soiled. I wished to come home, smushed and squalid. How I wished I could. Back from work, to put my legs up, watch TV, till my eyes teared up. I wish. No one to call me to get the disgusting dinner ready. Dusty, dirty tables, disheveled kids, blackened, begrimed pots and kitchen, rumpled beds, cluttered life. I wish for freedom from an organized life thrust upon me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, now I take an honor to call over the stage Dr. Jasbir Kaur.
Not here.
Moving ahead, unfortunately she is not here, but yes, indeed, we are missing her. Moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, time to introduce Madam Mandira Ghosh. Talking about, put your hands together everyone. Well, talking about Madam Mandira Ghosh, she is an eminent poet, author and socio-environmental thinker who beautifully unites the science and the poetry. She has written over 25 books, received the Bharat Nirman Award and held the Senior Fellowship of Ministry of Culture, the Government of India. Her poetry celebrates universal harmony, cosmic connection and ecological consciousness. She is internationally recognized as the guest editor of the 7th Query, Wales, and serves as ambassador of Indian literature across the globe. Her verses reflect serenity, introspection, and reverence for nature's rhythm. Madam Mandira Ghosh. Hands together, everyone.
Thank you, Radhika. Once again, I am here. Though you have said I have written on the nature and serenity, this is my latest book, Combating War by Art and Poetry. The half of the book talks of the war and how it can be combated by art and poetry. I will read the first poem from the book and probably the last one. Often, and he entered bravely into the battlefield without taking sides of anybody, death his paramour on the same field. Which country the orphan belongs to? Who are his parents? Why did they die? For whom? Leaving him alone in this battlefield. How will he live? How will he survive? In whose soil? Tomorrow, who can tell about his next divine blessing? I will read 3 short poems fractured existence. We have fractured existence due to wars, riots, hates, mutinies, crimes that not required in this beautiful world, beyond words and expressions. A surreal and imaginative world by the sketches of the artist from west to the east. They make an alternate dream. Paintings of the forests, seas and the oceans, and the time for the year sky by ink and pens with the masters through their sketches and poetry. And the last one is art and iris. Everyone wants to search for Shangri-La, so eternal Shangri-La. Art and iris come to rescue a morbid world. As beautiful as the irises in Claude Monet's garden, bloomed once again after a year its radiance diverged. Few days later, skeleton of the plant washed in water. Creation and destruction of the two sides of our lives, two sides of the same coin. But fire of colors on the northern east hills, today in the wilderness through the Himalayas, could be seen an eternal Shangri-La. Thank you.
मेरी poem तो नहीं मिली आपको?
I was looking. I have got some lines from your poem. Shall I read?
No, you don't read them.
No, but I
Thank you very much, Madam Mandira Ghosh.
No, just a minute, Radhika. I will say something about, I have written about Dr. Karan Singh's poetry. The poems Rajas and Sattva, and above all, the fourth and the quest. From the book Triveni, I have read them. They are written with metaphysical and scientific outlook. I conclude by saying that Dr. Karan Singh's lines from the fourth. Death, a mere shadow to be seen no more, and life, a living beam of radiant bliss. Indeed, life is a bliss, and we all celebrate its radiance today, at this point, at this moment, when he writes a poem, Hymn to Shiva, the fire of eternal life, make me immortal. That is the line from Hymn to Shiva. Both the poems are included in the anthology, Enchanting Verses, Shubhi publication and parchment, they are bringing it out.
Actually, my book of poems is called Welcome the Moonrise.
Yes.
I don't know whether anybody's ever read it or whether it's available or not. But I had my copy, I couldn't find my copy. And I remember everybody else's poems except my own. Eliot is my favorite poem. Go ahead.
No, you read some lines from your poem.
No, please don't read.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Mandira Ghosh. Moving ahead, now taking honor to call over the stage, Mr. Manoj Krishnan. While talking about Mr. Manoj Krishnan, he is the founder of Asian Literary Society, a global literary community that unites the thousands of writers and artists worldwide. As editor-in-chief of the Journal of Asian Arts, Culture and Literature, he promotes creative dialogue across the nation. He also edits Elsevier magazine and has initiated the platforms celebrating poetry, prose and visual art. Hands together everyone for Mr. Manoj Krishnan.
Thank you so much to all of you. First of all, I would like to mention the Lustrous Communication, the Poetry Society of India, our honorary chief guest, Karan sir and Mandira ma'am for inviting me today. And without any further delay, I would like to read my poems. The first poem that I am going to read today is from my book Soul Whispers. And the title of the poem is My Mother's Handbag. Wherever my mother went, she carried her turquoise sweet bag, the threads on its handle are now slowly frayed, now slowly worn. The corners of the handbag were soiled. It appeared so evident. Oblivious to all, she never forgot to carry it wherever she went. Now she has departed to heaven, and the bag lies in her room. After days of despair, when I hesitantly opened the handbag, I found one handkerchief imbued with her lingering fragrance, and her favorite face powder, its lid half broken, rested within, and a letter folded with care that my father had pinned to her. In the side zip, I found a photograph of myself at 1 year old. Rummaging through these chambers of my mother's handbag, as if my past had come alive, and I could see her in every frame. Today, amid the bustling family where vibrant hues adorn my life, I often remember my mother's tender touch and her warm smile. One day, I'll also leave this world, perhaps to meet her again, but her vestiges in this handbag will remain with me until then. The second poem is the title poem from my book, The Song of Silence. Song of Silence. When everything around me appears so dark, this heart looks for you in the silence of stars. I know in the deep silence there is symphony, and I confess I adore. Where dusky crowds spread on the Empyrean welcome my fatigued eyes as if I am in heaven. A glimpse of you that is so close, yet miles far, and I return dismayed from the clouds left azure. Because the song of silence that you taught me often tells me eternal separation is my destiny. Although these heart sobs, still eyes find the rays, who knows, it may mark the beginning of the day. Because I see you in me and I live in your frame as if you exist in me and I call you by my name. While crooning the song of silence, my heart jerks as if you whispered in my eyes, "Oh, hark!" Weary eyes envision your shadow once again, and I fall into deep slumber before night ends. Thank you so much.
But really, I'm sorry, I won't be able to stay till the end. मैं कविताएं तो अंग्रेजी में लिखता हूँ, लेकिन एक छोटी सी कविता मैंने हिंदी में लिखी है, वो मैं आपको सुना देता हूँ। हे शिव अनुरोध, इसका शीर्षक है अनुरोध, रिक्वेस्ट। हे शिव शंकर महादेव, मार्कंडेय के रक्षक, त्रिपुरासुर के भक्षक, मेरे साथ क्या व्यवहार करोगे? हे शिव शंकर महादेव, मार्कंडेय के रक्षक, त्रिपुरासुर के भक्षक, मेरे साथ क्या व्यवहार करोगे? यदि भस्म करने का ही निर्णय हो तो भी मुझे कोई आपत्ति नहीं। यदि भस्म करने का ही निर्णय हो तो भी मुझे कोई आपत्ति नहीं। हाँ, एक अनुरोध अवश्य है, उसके बाद मेरी भस्म को अपने शरीर पर लगा देना। मुझे आगे लेनी पड़ेगी, वेरी सॉरी, तो पोइट रह गए, उनको मैं नहीं सुन पाऊंगा, तो मुझे पहुंचना है कहीं।
Dignity and understanding. We thank Dr. Karan Singh, but we did not like the last poem at all. And some poems remind us of the words of that poem. First poem was very nice, and all the poems which we have heard of Dr. Karan Singh teach us many things. Teaches of eternal spirit and human spirit of man, of beauty of the world, and also of the personal journeys that we all have undertaken. Thank you.
Dr. Karan Singh, thank you very much, sir. Full of enthusiasm, a true mentor, a true leader. Thank you, sir, for being here, the part of our event. It's a great honor, guys. एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाए. Such a big personality. Padma Vibhushan awardee we have. We salute your energy. We salute your enthusiasm. We salute your spirit, sir. Dr. Karan Singh. Moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to take an honor to call over the stage Dr. Jasbir Kaur. Dr. Jasbir Kaur. Do we have Dr. Jasbir Kaur? Okay, yeah, sorry, Dr. Payal Nagpal. Okay, Dr. Payal Nagpal. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about her, she is the professor in the Department of English at Janaki Devi Memorial College, University of Delhi. Her expertise spans modern drama, literary theory, and Indian English poetry. She has authored the poetry books like In the Labyrinth Memory and The Memory Keepers, and contributes regularly to global literary research. Hands together everyone for Dr. Payal Nagpal.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Mandira ji, the Poetry Society and India International Center for giving me a chance to read my work and share it with you all. So I'll just read two poems from my book Memory Keepers that came out last year. We live in difficult times. These are poems from two very different categories. The first is titled I'm Palestine. I'm Palestine. The one controls me through his many Israels. Palestine remains cornered by tethered offspring, overarching family, his associates, ancestry, their stories, my story, with them, through them. At me too, he looks longing to subdue. It is the Gaza Strip on the world map, waiting somewhere on the side, parted from the bank of belonging, pounded on a daily basis. I am Palestine, real me, self and straight, bearing blows, tied hand-foot. I live through agony and pain. I remain, persist, I breathe, possess will to survive. I refuse to crumble, swaying slow and yet slower. The second one is in a different tone and is titled Imposter. I want to be an imposter who covers up her thoughts in drab blankets, swings between grey and black, the darkness of it. The quilt has another side. It hides beneath a riot of color. The flame red, the robin blue, the beak yellow, the moss green, and many more. Shall I show them all bit by bit? I decide not to. To be the imposter is to breathe. Who knows? If the motley emerged, they might take away my quilted blanket. I won't have it their way. I retain the naughty weave. So I literally hide my true colors. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, now it's a time to introduce Madam Poonam Suri. Well, talking about her, and economist by training and poet by passion. Madam Poonam Suri has lived across the continents, shaping her writing with multicultural perspectives. A graduate of Delhi School of Economics, she is an educator, author, and independent researcher who has written the 3 well-received books on Chinese culture. Her poems wave themes of identity, belonging, and human empathy, while her academic work bridges economics, education, and art. Please put your hands together, everyone, for Madam Poonam Suri.
Thank you so much for your comments, and thank you for inviting me here, and grateful to Mandira Ghosh and to the IIC, and also to you, sir. Thank you very much. So I'm going to just read out 2 poems, but I just want to give you a little bit of thoughts on poetry, which I feel are very important. In the search for happiness, we traverse a wide canvas of emotion, traveling on a road that is often uneven. Much of our lives are spent searching for that certain something that is beyond our reach. Loneliness, sadness, suffering, all are a part of who we are and who we become. Money, power, all become meaningless unless we find a quiet place in our hearts where we can retreat and make peace with ourselves. Poetry helps us find that inner voice. It is an expression of our emotions, which, when released in an open sky and the sunshine, find catharsis. It is also evocative to us as readers, become some of the emotions expressed in a few simple words of a poem, find a resonance within ourselves and touch a chord deep within our hearts. Over time, immemorial works of poets have been appreciated. Richness is not measured in gold. A truly rich person is the one who finds positive energy in the humdrum of everyday life. And I feel that